Gabrielle Chanel is known for making clothes that women would really love to wear and would feel at ease in, that they were comfortable, simple in style, but still truly elegant. This suit was worn by Lauren Bacall, who was an actress, and it was made in the fashion house of Gabrielle Chanel. There's a picture of Lauren Bacall wearing this, and she would have worn this suit to go shopping, to go out to lunch, because it would have been very easy and very comfortable to wear. This is a haute couture garment, and it is made and sewn to the highest standard. To say haute couture means that it's made for a private client, and it is made exactly to her measurements, and the client will have one or more fittings. This is a beautiful suit, but it's always good to look at the construction of it. And so now we're going to look at it on the table. The suit is made of tweed. It's got pink threads, and then it's got this beigey thread that's running through it, which is sort of a heavier thread, if you like, which gives it the contrast, the bumpiness to it. If we look at the hem, you can see it's quite a deep hem, which has been hand overcast to neaten the edge, and then sewn down inside, invisibly sewn. The reason why it could have such a deep hem is so that if fashions changed and she wanted it longer, it then could be altered. If you look at the lining here, the seams have all been hand overcast, and the lining follows the shape of the front panel. This is very typical of a haute couture garment. If we look at the back, we can see how there's two zips, and if we undo them, there's a hook and eye fastening, and then there's a zip there, and then a zip here as well. And now if we look at the inside, we can see how the back panel has been lined with a cotton marl, and this was to give extra strength to this panel to stop it seating, because the tweed is quite soft, and this would have given it extra strength so that it kept its shape. And here we can see the wide seams, and once again this is in case it needs to be altered in any way so that the material is there if that needs to happen. And now we're going to look at the jacket. Now this is a very typical Chanel jacket. Boxy shape, there's no waist shaping in it, and so it would just hang straight. But the simpler the design, the more work that goes into it to get the simplicity of that design. And if you look at this, there's a seam line here, there's another one here, and there's no seam line on the side seam. That goes round to the back. You can see inside it's lined back with the same fabric as the blouse. The chain at the bottom of the hem, this is to add weight. This is so that it always keeps its shape and it hangs straight. Sometimes she used to use metal buttons for it, but on this one she's got the metal chain, and that's very common, and you know you've got a Chanel suit when you've got your metal chain on the bottom there. If we look at the pockets, we can see that they actually are functional. She could have used them. It is lined, and so they are working pockets. And so now if we look at the blouse, we can see the front, the fabric is cut on the cross, and at the sides and the back it's cut on the straight grain. And this would have given it a more closer fitted look. And this has princess line seaming down here and down here. The neck is bound with fabric, and then as are the armholes, but they've got this little decorative twist there, which is sewn in place. Now if we look at the back, you see it's completely different to the front. It's got a V-neck, and it's got covered buttons and little bound buttonholes, and there's two tiny poppers at the bottom here to hold it in place when it was being worn. And also the shoulder seam comes round to the back, so that from the front the shoulder seam wouldn't be seen, so it's hidden away to the back of the blouse. So if we look at the inside, we can see the seams again quite wide and all hand overcast. And then round the neck there's a very fine even weave cotton strip put on, which is all hand sewn in place to hide the seam there. And if we look at the shoulders, it's got lingerie straps, and so your bra strap could be hidden under here, and the popper done up so that it would always hold it in place. And it's got a very, very small rolled hem. The skirt has a waistband which is made from the same fabric as the blouse and the lining, so this is definitely an outfit that would need to be worn, the pieces be worn together. You can see how it sits just on the hip, so it was nice and comfortable to wear, not constricting the waist at all. And underneath here we can see that there's a pocket. Not sure what that pocket could be used for. Maybe she put her compact in there, or she had a cigarette case or something that went in there. Not sure, but you can see it's completely hidden by the jacket. Something that might be missed is this panel on the front of the skirt, and it's wider here than here. It narrows to the bottom. That takes the eye down and narrows the bottom of the skirt. The decoration on this is lines of top stitching which go all the way round the edge of the jacket, the flaps of the pocket, the bottoms of the sleeve, and on the collar here. And if we look at the collar, the stitching isn't stitched the full depth of it, which gives this line of plain fabric, which just gives it a certain look. So if we look at the sleeves, Chanel was very particular about the fit of a sleeve, and she would often get the tailors to take them out and to refit them again, and she always carried scissors with her so she could snip away to get them to fit exactly how she wanted them. And if we look at the length, you can see that it's not quite full length, so if the client was wearing gloves with it, it would be quite elegant. So if we just undo this button, we can have a look at the blouse underneath, and you can see how the seaming on the blouse, again princess line seaming, echoes that on the jacket. The buttons have a lion on them, and in 1919 Chanel's then lover, Boy Capel, died, and some friends took her to Venice, and she fell in love with the city, and the lion is the symbol of Venice. And still in 1966, she's still using the same emblem. When I first saw this suit, I just really loved it. It just has that feeling of something that somebody had worn and loved to wear it, because when you wear a wool garment, the warmth of the body gets into it and it changes shape slightly and just starts to fit your shape. And this just had that feeling about it.